And the question is, how would your family fare if you only had 10 minutes?
10 minutes to bug out?
If you only had 10 minutes. No, this is not a new rendition of the Puffy and Mace. You know, if you had 24 hours to live, what would you do? Of course, you know.
No, this is 10 minutes.
If you had 10 minutes, how would your family fare?
That's a good question.
So it kind of continues the conversation from what we've been talking about. I guess at the onset of the hurricane season, emergency preparedness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, initially we started talking about, you know, preparing your children for emergencies and explaining to them what is an actual emergency, what is something that, oh, this is just an issue you're having right now, versus, no, this is a full-blown emergency. This is how you should handle things, and preparation, everything else like that. But we have some folks that are emergency responders, and they know how important it is to plan ahead.
Now, if I understand correctly, these folks are local from the area.
Formerly local from, yeah, they're like Spring Valley or something like that.
But they were around here, had been in the area when Sandy came through.
Correct.
And had noticed just that, you know, people standing outside, lights out in the city, people on the streets, obviously not prepared for what was to be or what had happened. And it kind of made these people think, you know what, maybe there's something we can do to provide a little something that will help in an emergency for family to be ready when it happens.
Well, I have one of my good buddies who's NYPD, and he's been that bug in my ear for the last 7 or 8 years, talking about emergency preparedness, things that you need to have on side. You know, not, okay, you know, like we all go to the store, and we all purchase, 72 or an 88 pack of water, and everything else like that. Paper towels and batteries and flashlights and canned food. But if you notice, a lot of times when we purchase this stuff, we usually consume it.
When it's late Saturday and you're like, oh, I need extra, and I don't feel like running to the store.
Right.
Let me go downstairs and just grab that.
Go downstairs
and
into the pantry.
Never put it back.
And you never put it back. So we talked about getting that certain type of items, putting them to the side, and just leaving them there.
Right.
Now, of course, you know, you don't want to get to a point where you've had the same can of sardines sitting there for the last, 3 to 4 years.
You have to rotate them.
Right. You have to rotate. Yes. You have to look.
Make it your annual plan. Say first of June, go down there and rotate the stock.
It's true. So, but it comes down to the idea is planning.
Yes.
The idea is prep work.
Yep.
I mean, in our jobs, our day jobs, we prepare XYZ items so that when we have to go live, we're prepared to go.
Right.
So if we do this at work, why don't we do this at home?
It's a good question. I mean, you, as you say, you pack your school lunch for your child.
It's true.
You get them prepared in somewhat way, but how do you prepare them for an emergency?
It's true. I mean, so my kids are younger than yours, and I mean, but I know you remember whether it was like uniform time or anything else like that. If it's like, the night before school, the uniform or the clothes that they're wearing, it's all laid out. It's all laid out.
Books are laid out. Books are packed up.
The lunch is prepared.
Right.
Everything else, so that when they wake up, 1, 2, 3.
Right.
They just go through the motion, and then it's like, I don't know, it's like a factory. You pick up your clothes, you do everything that you need to do. But the question that I had before was, how would your family fare if you only had 10 minutes? So our featured guest of the night, are Stuart and Karina Warshaw from, I would say, VLSdesigns.com. Karina, Stuart, how you doing?
We're doing well. How are you?
Pretty good.
Fine, thank you. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So there's been, I would say, since the hurricane season, we've seen massive destruction hit. We've seen politics come into play. We've seen cable news where, elected officials are on TV saying, hey, you got to get out of this area. We've seen areas hit where, the people that were rescued out of these specific areas had nothing but the clothes on their back. And I had the opportunity to speak with both of you offline, and you had a product that I thought would be helpful to others. So I really want to turn the mic over to you guys, allow you to introduce yourselves, speak about your products, and we'll come back and forth and exchange questions.
Sure, that sounds great. So this is Karina, and you were pretty good with the name of our company. It's Blessed Designs. And I am a former emergency responder, and our product that we have is called an emergency go bag. It's not a new product. It's one that we designed specifically. This version of a go bag is specific for urban and suburban homeowners, people who live in big cities and just out of big cities, as an emergency item that they can take when they need to leave their home quickly.
I mean, generally, Ted, I'm sorry, this is Stuart. What happens is when there's an event or an emergency is when people completely freeze and are unable to figure out what to do. Even we've seen it when you see a weather event,
Right.
Getting things together, getting to the store, water sold out, things like that. So our go bag, and again, as Karina mentioned, it's a known item. Karina was a member of CERT, which is the Community Emergency Response Team in New York on the Upper West Side. And one of the things that they stressed is having a go bag and getting the community, everyone to have a go bag. So this item, incidentally, is in physical size. It's 22 inches tall, it's 14 inches wide, and 9 inches deep. So it fits just inside the regulations of an overhead for an airline. So it's not a huge item at all.
Okay.
It can be worn as a backpacker on wheels, but it's what goes inside of it, and it's the planning, as you had just mentioned, that's really critical. I guess starting with planning, Karina, you put that plan together, which is amazing, the Readiness Playbook.
So what we have available online and in each of our go bags is something that we call the Readiness Playbook, and it is the plan, as you guys were talking about before. Everyone should plan before an event, so know what your family is doing. So our Readiness Playbook has in it what we call the Readiness Test, and it's just a test that's kind of a fun test you can go through with your family, just to see if you're ready, and it gives some tidbits about how to get ready, what you should have available in your house if you are going to stay there, if you need to be inside for a number of days, as well as what you need to put into your go bag, emergency contact lists, the type of documents you want to have with you at all times, so copies of documents that should go in your go bag so that everything is together when you need to get up and go.
I'm sorry, go ahead, Stuart.
I was just going to add one other thing. That the thing that struck me when she was putting it together was, where do you know where your children are going to be evacuated to if the school needs to evacuate?
Right.
So anyway,
That's a good point. No, that's a very good point. I know you mentioned that this bag is designed more specifically for urban people living in urban environments. Can you go into a little more detail as to what you've put in the bag?
We kind of break it into two parts. One is emergency supplies, and the other one is first aid. In first aid, it is Kind of the standard things you would think about, bandages, 4x4,
Alcohol, wipes, eye wash in case you get anything into your eyes. We put in an N95 mask so people, if there's fine particulates, they put the mask on and they're not breathing all that dust and stuff that could be in the air for some reason.
Antiseptic.
Burn sheets.
So I'm gonna take a look at our list. We actually stocked it with 39 individual items, and in multiples, like a number of different 4x4s, triangular bandages, things like that, ace bandage. And then on the emergency supplies, and I'll take a look and just give you a quick rundown, or your listeners can log in or get online and see it. Emergency supplies, one of the most important things, and we see it in Puerto Rico, is water. We have plastic packets of long life water made by Datrex, and it's emergency water. We also have an emergency hand crank radio. So this radio has weather band AM FM. It charges by just hand cranking it. It can charge a cell phone. It has a flashlight and a reading light. So for the people who are out of communication, because there was no electricity, they can plug it into this radio and they can plug their cell phone into the radio and charge it that way. Then we have, oh my gosh, a water bottle. We have potable water tablets so you can purify your own water. We use ones that can kill something called cryptosporidium, which is more than just, it's really human waste and things like that. We have a multi-tool flashlight, cold packs, duct tape, 25 feet of rope with a breaking strength of over 2,500 pounds, waterproof matches, ponchos, a Sharpie, because when you are out of communication and you've got a plan to meet somebody in some place and they're not there, you want to at least be able to write down that you were there. Or sometimes, as you also see, you need to write down who you are or where you're with on your body. So there's a variety of different things. Gloves, safety vest, cell phone case that's waterproof, because we all know how important that is today, hand warmers, and it's a variety of different things. So that's what we stock it with. And we also leave room, which is critical, for people's personal items, because you may have things you need, certainly medication, glasses, you have a cane, socks if you're in a cold climate, hats if you're in a hot climate and sunny. If you have a baby, you'll need diapers, you'll need some formula, things like that. So there has to be room for your own personal items.
I guess the best question in regards to this product, the VLES designs, in preparation, where can I get this bag?
We sell it online only at lessdesigns.com. And that's it. It's a direct-to-consumer e-commerce.
Perfect. Cutting out the middle person.
Yeah, because quite honestly, you can hear it. There's a lot of stuff in here, and the bag is super high quality. It's it's waterproof. I'd like to say ballistic fabric, but that sounds almost like it can withstand a bullet. But it's not the case. Mm-hmm. There are modules inside. It's highly organized. It has certain features, like built into it are a closed cell phone blanket, a tether, which you can use for your children to hang on to when you're in a crowded area, or hanging clothes if they're wet. So many things are wet weather events. It's very purposely and specifically designed for this, and it is very simple looking. It doesn't scream, come and steal me because I have what you need.
Right.
And for a very limited time, if you go to VLES, VLESdesigns.com/LNP,
yes,
you will get to the website. And for all of our LNP listeners, I believe there's a very nominal discount code that can be applied for anyone.
Hi, I'm Liz Munoz, CEO of Torrid. And at Torrid, we know how hard it is to find a bra that looks great and feels super comfortable, especially if you're a bigger or curvy girl. So we have spent the last 2 years building the perfect everyday wire-free bra with the belief that it should feel as good as it looks. It gives all the support and shape you'll ever need without any of the wires. Honestly, it's the first bra you'll forget to take off when you go to bed. So come to Torrid.com and try our life-changing wire-free bra today.
One that wants to purchase this bag. So, Stuart and Karina, if we want to hear more about this, this product or your story or, just questions on it, what's the best place we can go to find out more information on this?
The best thing is to go to lessdesigns.com. People can then reach us from the site with instant messaging, or reach us by email, info@lessdesigns.com. And actually, I believe, so the standard way, if they have questions. I think it's a fairly comprehensive site, however, so, we encourage people to go there. And in addition, the price of the bag, it is $350. We just want to see people have a go bag. So
Right.
people can go there and see what the list is if they want to assemble it themselves. If they have their own bag they want to put stuff in. We sell all of our components. Quite honestly, it's less than anyone will end up paying for if they assemble it themselves. But we we have a free download for the plan. So we just want people to get a go bag.
Right.
In the situations, emergency responders, when you just wish people were better prepared.
Yes.
Yeah, preparation is what it's all about, and definitely is the important piece, because as Ted has already mentioned, if you only had that 10 minutes, 10 minutes is not long at all. And instead of having to run around and start thinking about what you might need to grab and of course missing something, being prepared, having the plan, and having the most important items together in one location can make all the difference in an emergency.
Absolutely.
Stuart, Karina, I want to thank you guys for coming on here, spending a few minutes of your evening. Would love to touch base, let's say at the top of the year, and we can take it from there.
Sounds great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.